Ricky Gervais. During the Golden Globes, Ricky Gervais had pretty much torn apart the ivory tower of Hollywood, pointed out a lot of their hypocrisies, and he's been being called right-wing. He's been called a right-wing hero. Okay, so ironically, speaking truth to power and exposing and shining a lantern on their hypocrisy makes him right-wing, eh? Okay. Nowadays, calling someone right-wing is a slander. And it shouldn't be. I don't care if someone calls you right-wing or left-wing. It shouldn't be a slander. I mean, it shouldn't be like, you right-winger. Okay, all right. Quit being so hyperbolic. Settle down. Relax a little. I think Ricky Gervais did a good job of exposing and holding up a mirror to the Hollywood elites and saying, hey, you know what? You guys are not the good people that you think you are. You're just regular people who are flawed, and living in an ivory tower doesn't give you special privileges, even though it kind of does, but it shouldn't. So let's read this. Fox News. Ricky Gervais. How is mocking huge corporations, privileged people, right-wing? And I agree. How is that being right-wing? Ricky Gervais has been largely hailed for Sunday night's Golden Globes performance, but the comedian wonders why some are labeling his opening monologue right-wing. It's because they're trying to shut down the conversation. Pure and simple. They're trying to use a buzzword that demonizes him and thereby making everything he says invalid. Oh, he's right-wing. You can't trust anything he says. He's right-wing. Okay. How the F can teasing huge corporations and the richest, most privileged people in the world be considered right-wing? Gervais asked his 13.9 million Twitter followers. Wow, 13.9 million Twitter followers. Woo! That's crazy. But I agree. How is criticizing power and showing hypocrisy to power and holding a mirror up to themselves, making them see themselves and see their own hypocrisy? Because sometimes in our lives, we can't see our own hypocrisies until someone shines a light on it. But how is that considered right-wing? It's not considered right-wing, okay? It's really not. They're calling him right-wing to shut down the conversation and to make everything he says invalid at that point. He's right-wing. Don't listen to him. He's right-wing. Everything he said is wrong. All right. The notoriously controversial host wasted no time making headlines on Sunday evening, laying into the Hollywood elite, vying for a big win. He called out the many stars in the room for their leadership, two large corporations like Amazon and Disney. And yeah, they were all friends of Epstein, right? Now, why were they all friends with Epstein, even though it appears that quite a few of them knew what was going on with Epstein? The money. They didn't want to lose possible parts in movies. I mean, come on now. It's all about the dollar bills, y'all. That's all it is. Dollar bills. Gervais mocked Hollywood over now disgraced mogul Harvey Weinstein, joked that people in attendance were friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and told movie executives that they were terrified of Me Too champion and award-winning journalist Ronan Farrow. Yeah, because they are. Why? People are afraid of those things that expose the bad parts within themselves. Human nature. It's human nature. I am a study of human nature. It has saved my life more times than I can count. Being able to read a situation and someone before you even walk up on them, it will save your life when you come from a harsh place like I have. Gervais also took jabs at the likes of Felicity Huffman and Leonardo DiCaprio. He concluded his scathing monologue by warning the celebrities not to make any political or woke statements when accepting their rewards. Yes, keep politics out of my movies, out of my video games. I don't want them. When I watch a movie and when I play a video game, I want a release. I want an escape. I don't want people to bring their own personal political opinions into it and try to shove it down my throat. That's why a lot of movies fail. Ghostbusters didn't fail because it was female cast, it failed because they were trying to do a story, but they wiped out the past. And it wasn't funny. And it was very politically motivated and charged. And watching the movie, you just felt like they were shoving their own personal opinion of politics down your throat, and it made for an awful movie. But yet one side can only cling on to one thing. Oh, it's only because of the females that you guys didn't like it, because they don't have a good argument and they can't come forward with rationed debate because the movie sucked. The jokes were not funny. It was horribly political. I did not enjoy it. It was a horrible movie. And it's not because of the female cast. It's not. It's because, one, you took the things that people expect and hold dear to their hearts, the canon, if you will, of the story, and wiped everything clean and tried to start as if nothing from the previous movies had ever happened. Okay, well, that's a little hard to grasp, and that's a bad way to go. Movies throughout generations have proven that wiping out canon and trying to start this new story with new characters doesn't work. Look at Roseanne when they replaced Becky. Just saying, it was a perfect example. They replaced Becky, the ratings went down, viewership went down because people are like, what? Because the reason people watch a show and like a show is because of a certain formula. When you get rid of that formula and you try to start a new formula, well, people aren't going to like it much. It wasn't because of the women, so get off of that. But you're in no position to lecture the public about anything, he declared. Hear, hear. Hear, hear. I don't want to hear some millionaire Hollywood elite living in an ivory tower telling me how life is. Oh, yeah? Okay, why don't you give me the millions? We'll switch places. You can live in my position and then come back and tell me your opinions on things when you see the darker side of life. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. Yes, I love that joke. Love it. Many took to Twitter to praise Gervais for the routine that appealed to viewers at home as opposed to the celebrities in attendance. Yes, because all too often during these awards, it is preaching to the choir. It is the super rich and super elite talking to the super rich and super elite. And what do you get then? You just get an echo chamber because the other people you're speaking to and the other people you're hanging out with are the super elite and super rich. So you don't get a good perspective on life. You think life works one way because you've got enough money and power that you generally get your way and you have no need for anything. And you believe for some reason that the entire world works that way. It does not. You live in a bubble, Hollywood elites. You don't know what life is. You don't know what hardship is for the most part. Some of you do, I'm sure. In a separate tweet on Monday, Gervais also responded to a news article which stated that Golden Globes viewers want Ricky Gervais to host every year. Never gonna happen, he replied, along with a laugh emoji. Yeah. Good job on Ricky Gervais pointing out the hypocrisies of the Hollywood elite because they don't understand life. They live in this bubble. I'll bet you most of them don't even generally go to a grocery store. They have their groceries delivered to their house. How many of them have walked through a ghetto? And when I mean walk through a ghetto that is particularly dangerous to you because of the color of your skin. I used to live in New Orleans, St. Charles Avenue. And there's a ghetto not far from there. And it's a black ghetto. And I have walked through it. And let me tell you something, racism is available in everybody, but when you experience it, it will change your perspective on a lot of different things. Are all people bad? No, obviously not. Anybody that says anything, anytime anybody says all of one people are a certain way, well, okay, they're not. Now, in general, are the Hollywood elites a certain way? Yeah, in general, yes. Look at their viewpoints. Look at where they're coming from. They're coming from this perspective of life is grand for them, for the most part. So what right do they have to tell us in the trenches? You're looking up at the ivory tower and you're like, wow, it's so different up there. And it is. It's almost exactly like the medieval times in a castle with your serfs, your peasants, and your royalty. The royalty has no clue what's going on. No clue. They think they do, and they will try to dictate to you, but they have no clue. But good on Ricky Gervais. Shining a lantern on it. Let me know what you guys think. I know a few people out there that I have spoken to that don't agree with Ricky Gervais, and that's cool. That's fine. That's your right to your opinion. And I listen to it. Personally, I believe he did a great job showing them and not putting himself in that bubble of I'm going to preach to the choir. But those are my opinions. I want your opinions. Like, comment, subscribe. Help me beat this YouTube algorithm. Get those out there. Get my voice out there. Get my opinions out there. Help get your opinions out there. But some sort of engagement. And let me know what you think. Because I have gone into some discussions with people that, wow, are pretty divisively against Ricky Gervais. I mean, like, very, very divisive. But I want to know your thoughts, your opinions. I thank you for your time, and I'll see you guys on the next one.